Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about Big Brother 9 Canada week 2. Is it week 2 now?
It's
Or no,
technically
it's the.
like week 4.
Oh, yeah. And it's the third
Well,
eviction, though, right?
so yeah, it's week 3 going to week 4, I should say.
Yeah. Yes,
The
yes,
new
yes.
HOH is like basically the 4th week in charge. Anyway, what are we
Mhm.
saying? Logistics. Hi, if you're new to this channel, but first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up.
Hey, and check out that
Hey,
description. There's a link to support us on Patreon if you want to do that. Click.
Survivor Micronesia happening over there.
Yes, that's such a good season.
We're excited.
Okay, we are.
We are excited. We had an eviction tonight. Didn't go the way I wanted it to,
Yeah, sorry about that, Sarah.
but I'm not
That's a
surprised.
burn for your fantasy team.
My fantasy team, like RIP already. This team ain't great.
Wait, who else do you have other than LaToya?
Beth and Tashawn.
Oy. Yeah. Well,
ain't looking good for me. So we're just gonna.
but this week, I think you're going to be good. I don't think Beth or Tashawn are going anywhere this week, based on what we saw tonight. Who knows?
Who knows? At this point, who knows? This house is messy, but they're all trying to play. Most of them are trying to play, and that's what's important here.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead, get the basics out of the way here. We lost LaToya tonight.
We did.
In kind of a blindside for like some people in the house.
Yeah. When she got out to talk, to have her interview, she was like, it wasn't that much of a blindside, this and that, but it felt a little bit like she's just trying to save face, and make it seem like, no, I kind of knew it was going on. But I think she really did think Kiefer was the target because.
Yeah, she didn't do enough
job
to save her butt if she actually was worried that she was the target. But we also see that our new HOH this week is Kiefer, and I think that's very, very interesting. So let's talk about it in a second. But first, let's back it up a little bit. We got 2 episodes here we want to touch on. We got a Wednesday veto episode and a Thursday night episode.
Yeah.
So we had a crossword veto.
David. Yeah. And I gotta say, Jed is on my fantasy team, and I'm pleased as punch that he's there because to me, like, he killed it. He blew everybody away. And I suspect I picked him for my fantasy team because I'm like, this guy's physical. He's going to be great in the endurance comps and all this. But this shows that he's good with the smarts comps, whatever you call them,
I guess so. Because even Austin in her pre-interview stuff was like, I can do a puzzle. And she might have been able to get there, but Jed just had it the whole time. And I loved that they are in athletic gear. Producers are messing with them. They're like pumped. Here we go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
I should also just say living in that real time, because it's really happened Saturday when I saw the veto pick and I was like, Jed and Ty will take down LaToya. LaToya will take down LaToya. Kiefer will take down Kiefer, and that's fine too. Austin was the only one playing for the HOH. I was like, this is going to be amazing.
How did they manage that to get 4 Sunsetters out of 5 playing veto? Austin was the only hope that Victoria had of keeping noms the same. She found another way, but she was just like, okay, there's one person playing that will keep the noms the same, guaranteed no matter what.
And these athletic players were like, record scratch? I have to use my brain? What?
Yeah, right. But Jed's got one. He's got one. So the only thing with him, I don't know if he's going to know when to not compete. I do think this was a comp he should have competed in. He wanted to take down his number 1 ally. He had a reason to win that veto. But I just feel like Austin, to your point of, she said in her intro bio that she's smart, but she also said that she wanted to lay low at the beginning and then blow everybody away at the end with her ability to solve these kind of puzzle challenges. So she may have been like, maybe it's too early for me to really go for this. I don't really care, But I wonder if Jed's going to have that ability to dial it back when it's not best for his game. And I doubt he will.
No, and he also lacks the awareness of what's best for his game, at least at this point. That has not he might figure it out now that he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He no longer has the majority in the house, so we'll see, but he has yet to really figure that out. So
yeah, I mean, how quickly that changed this, with one HOH reign. Now all of a sudden the Sunsetters are not this like dominant alliance that they thought they were. And it was interesting to me, you may have talked about this a little bit with Jolene in your live feed spoiler video, but it was just interesting how the Sunsetters were a thing, and then somehow the rest of the house became a thing. Like, you don't always see that. Sometimes you see a dominant alliance form and the rest of the house, they just can't get it together. They can't figure it out. They don't fully know who's working with who. But this sixsome, as much as they tried to keep it a secret and they're like, we're all different, nobody's going to suspect it. Like, the rest of the house was like, okay, so not them, but us. The rest of us were the oddballs. And Sarah, I love to see Tina ride in the middle.
Oh, Miss Tina. Hello. Look who is playing this game masterfully. And I did not see that coming.
Me neither. Honestly, both her and Kiefer are playing to varying levels of success, but like, they are there to play Big Brother. Right? They understand what they got into. And I especially was not expecting that from Tina, but God, she's doing a great job so far.
She really is. And this week she's 100% safe. So good on her. The other highlight, I think, from Wednesday's episode is the pantry argument where Kyle and Ro just kind of thought they were done with Kiefer. They came in hot. Kiefer was like, not about it. LaToya definitely wasn't about it. And I kind of loved that this was after they were just put on the block. Kiefer and LaToya had just been put on the block. This was after the nom ceremony. And they both were like, no, not going to have this, not apologizing. I'm done with you. I don't care that I'm on the block. I'm not kissing your butt. And I just kind of loved that.
It was great. I mean, because it was like, why are you doing this to us? We just got put on the block. Like, what is the point of all this? We're already in danger,
Yes.
But Kyle just came in like ready to pick a fight. And I think Ro was kind of like, can y'all leave me alone, please? Like, I need to relax because this has just been a high stress house for me since night one. But it's just kind of a strange timing for all of it. And then I did love, like you say, when it was kind of Rohan trying to make up with Kiefer and Kyle trying to patch things up with LaToya. And Kyle's like, we both said some things we regret. And she's like, I didn't.
Nope.
I don't regret what I said.
I regret nothing.
Yeah.
Out of here, buddy. She's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, yes. So I think those were my highlights from Wednesday. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about on Wednesday?
Well, I thought it was interesting, this whole to be continued for the veto ceremony. I loved that. I was like, we never see this happen.
No, and it kind of threw me because actually you could hear them say like 1 hour to the veto ceremony because Vic is throwing down. She's like, oh, that's the highlight of Wednesday. Oh, you wanted to use the veto?
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna just take your organs and twist them in my little vice right here and tell you that I'm HOH.
That's
and if you do something I don't want you to do, I'm gonna put up your best friend. Oh, wait, not your best friend? How about your girlfriend? Which one? Which one you want?
That was so good. Oh my God. Yes. I love how she's like, so first of all, oh, Jed, you want to talk? Why don't you get Ty? I want to talk to both of you. Round them up. So then they're already kind of on edge. Like, oh, okay, what is she planning? Like, why does she want to talk to both of us? And she's just like, so here's the deal. If you I need LaToya gone. And if LaToya, or maybe she's like, I want Kiefer gone, whatever it is.
She never admits LaToya. She even stumbles there in the moment. She's like, I need Kiefer gone.
Yeah, right. But she's like, I need LaToya on the block because if LaToya comes off the block, she's going to flip the vote on me. And it's like such a good argument to make because it's like she literally just tried to flip, and like people are blaming me for this flip. And so like, no, I'm not letting LaToya off the block. And here's why you can't take her down.
Flip votes though when they're on the block.
True.
But
yeah. But yeah, she's just like, if you take her down, I got to put up your guy. And then it was so amazing. She just pivoted so quickly of like, oh, not Ty? Well, then Beth? Is that what you're suggesting? That I should put up Beth? But she's just like very clearly communicating, if you use this, you're not going to like it. And he was trying to like throw his weight around with like, I won the veto. And she's just like, well, guess what happens when the veto's used? Then I get to pick the replacement nom. I'm still the HOH, Jedson.
Yeah. And they're like, it sounds like you're coming for us, which is the right thing to say, because it does. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what? And they're like, are you trying to make us need to come for you? Or you would come for me? It's like, oh my God. Okay, this isn't flawless, Vic.
No.
Spicy Vic, you setting yourself up for some enemies here. But like, such an amazing move to watch. We love it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, they're playing the game back as well, you know, in a smart way by characterizing it as like, why are you coming for us? But I really don't think she was directly coming for that. Like she could have, you know, flipped the perspective and been like, I'm not coming for you. I'm actually doing you a favor and giving you a heads up that if you use it on LaToya, this is what's going to happen. And now you can make an educated decision on whether you want to use the veto or not. Like she could, you know, phrase it that way, but
play it that way.
It's such a fun conversation to watch.
It was. The point of hearing that over the speaker though, like you've got 1 hour and it kind of like lit them. That was Sunday. That usually doesn't happen until Monday. They should have had another 24 hours to talk through this typically. So I was actually surprised when we got a to be continued in the edit because they had an extra day on production side.
Yeah.
Which I guess they pushed it up because they had that bingo thing that they fit in on Thursday. But whatever the reasoning was, I was surprised that we got a to be continued.
I know. I mean, it's, you know, well used because it's like, this is a decision that's about to happen, you know, like it's a good cliffhanger of like, okay, because Jedson has basically like 2 ride or dies. Does he save one at the expense of the other or not? You know, so it was great. And then so great to pick it right up with this Thursday episode. And he straight up says, I want to use it, but I can't.
I mean, why are you telling the entire house you really wanted to take LaToya down? I guess most of the house does know y'all are close. They know you would like to, but the standing up at a ceremony and just saying it to everyone feels a bit like a rookie move. But yeah, he did it. Jed did it.
That's why I really like what I've seen from BB Canada, though. Like, because I've seen, you know, this is our first, hopefully, full season that we're going to get to watch. But like from seeing old clips and stuff, the speeches in Canada are lit. And like people get up and say what they mean and mean what they say, you know, and they talk about like removing cancers from the house and like stuff like that. Like Big Brother speeches are now like so watered down that they don't even air them sometimes, you know, but in Canada, they still get up and make statements, and that makes for entertaining television. And really, maybe not the best strategy.
For the polite people that Canadians are, like we get some spicy house guests for sure. So Jed throws his game out the window here, but he's ultimately not going to use it, trying to save his game. And, you know, they all disperse and LaToya and Kiefer are still on the block. And then we get to see this amazing week of campaigning and pitches and deals between.
Is that what we saw, Sarah?
No, not that.
No. We saw LaToya on the episode itself. We see LaToya talk to Austin and just throw out the most half-hearted, like, I mean, I'm not going after you and you're not coming after me, right? And Austin literally is like, LaToya, that was really cute. Good job. Good job on that spiel.
Chuckle, chuckle. And LaToya's like, I don't understand your social cues.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Okay. But okay, bye. I mean, that was what's on the episode, and that was accurate. Like, that's all we got this week. LaToya. I mean, most importantly, Vic was swearing up and down that Kiefer was her target and that she had the votes for it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though in her mind, LaToya is like, I don't know, I feel like I would be the target. That was the extent of what she was going to do. She was just going to be like, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
No like promises of safety or anything, like no real deals, just kind of these like half-hearted assurances of like, we're good, right? And that's just, I mean, no wonder Austin laughed in her face, you know? I mean, also Austin knows the truth, you know, like Victoria kind of like really did a good job of like dividing the house in terms of like, okay, we're selling to these people that Kiefer's the target. And then we all know that LaToya is the target, but we're just going to keep that quiet. And it really did stay quiet, you know?
It did. And then I'm like, Kiefer wasn't really fighting to stay either. He bought into, like Vic said to him, play sad.
Yeah.
You're not the target, but you got to act like you are so that no flips happen. Nothing crazy happens.
Well, I mean, Kiefer was like genuinely sad too. Like he, you know, had a moment where he was like, put me on the block. I, you know, betrayed my own character and I'm so sad that my kids are seeing me play like this. And he's like already having a little bit of a breakdown, you know, just a few weeks into this game. But there were moments where I'm like, is this guy going to ask to be evicted because he, you know, tried to concoct this plan? Like, please say no.
Yeah, I mean, he never went that far, but I think half of it's strategy. Like most of the days he does talk about like, I don't want to be here. This is too hard. This game's too hard. And I think that it probably, because he is willing to play, it probably does hit him. And he has moments where he's like, oh, I feel guilty. I got caught. I feel guilty. But I think that it's also strategy. I think if you play up, oh, I don't even know if I want to be here, then you don't look like a threat.
That's right. They're like, oh, keep him around. He's not even, he has no passion to win anything. So easy to beat him, you know?
Even as someone as strong as Dr. Will could sit in a house full of people who had already played and that he was like, whatever, send me home. And they just don't think of him as a threat. Like it's not a bad strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, with both Kiefer and LaToya this week, in terms of their like strategy, specifically in arguments, it's not the best. They're not the best at thinking on their feet, right? Because we get a lot of, from LaToya, it's a lot of like, I'm done. I'm not even having this conversation. And then from Kiefer, he keeps saying like, that's Big Brother, you know, like they confront him with things. And rather than like trying to cover his tracks or, you know, make up some kind of a lie, he's just like, that's Big Brother. I'm just here to play Big Brother. And I'm like, you got to do a little better than that.
I know. I think LaToya like, I forget what it was, but like LaToya got caught like the first week and she was like, oh yeah. Cause it was with the whole Josh and Julie thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I said your name. It's Big Brother. And I think that they just were like, oh, we can just say that. Let's just say that. And so they no longer like come up with excuses. They're just like, yeah, it's Big Brother.
Yeah. I threw your name out. It's called Big Brother.
It is pretty funny though. That's what they're saying. So in tonight's episode, we see the stellar campaigning, the amazing deals that LaToya set up for people.
Brilliant gameplay.
And we come to this, we did get a cute little game of bingo. That was cute. That was fine.
Yeah. Fun dares that they had to complete. Now, as far as the draft goes, because you know I'm looking at those draft points, Sarah. Now, the people who won the pizza party, did they get points?
No, they did not get points. No.
They won a comp.
No, that was not a real comp. That wasn't a real. Do you think that was a real comp?
Somebody call the BBCan producers and tell them that wasn't a real comp.
Wait, do you think that was a real comp? I'll give them points if you think it was.
Well, I don't know.
I thought it was just about silly fun.
It wasn't actual like skill. It was luck, right? Because you just complete the dare and then you get your bingo space.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, this HOH was just luck, a shuffleboard.
It's true.
I don't know. I mean,
That's
if
up to
someone
you.
can convince me that this was like a real comp, then I'll do it. But it didn't affect the game. So I
You're
wasn't
right. It
thinking that
didn't.
it
They
did.
just got a pizza party and Braden wore a
Yeah,
bingo ball outfit. So
right.
it's not, it doesn't change strategy at all.
Yeah, Joseph. It was just filler. That's
Yeah. It
but
was
Amy
fun
would
though.
like points. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
get it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the votes come out exactly how we think because Jed, Ty, and Beth were the three that Vic was really lying to, besides LaToya. So those are the only three votes to vote out Kiefer.
Right.
And they did ask around, but everyone lied. And, even like Tara asked Tina, should we tell LaToya on Thursday that we're not voting? And Tina's like, nope.
Yeah.
Keeping it a secret. So here we are with the vote. I'm very interested to see if Jed and Ty and Beth are shocked like they should be, or if they're playing it like LaToya basically was like, yeah, well, I kind of knew.
I mean, there's got to be some vote counting going on here. They're going to realize that Tina voted for LaToya.
Yep.
And that Tina was clued in. So maybe Tina's spot is blown up a little bit as playing the middle. She's on both sides here. I don't know that affects her really because, the Sunsetters are now in the minority. But, they're going to figure that out. But I'm interested to see who Kiefer's target is.
I am too. So the thing that Vic did this morning, though, because obviously Vic has planned this whole lie this whole week, and she knows that Jed and Ty and Beth are about to be blindsided. But she planted the seed. She told Jed and Ty that Beth came to her talking about flipping the vote to get LaToya out instead of my target. So she was trying to frame Beth, which I thought, this is a stretch and a bit of a difficult thing to do here. But Beth is her next target. In Vic's head, Jed and Ty are her dudes. But they chose LaToya, so got to get LaToya out. Then she was like, wait, they also chose Beth. I got to get Beth out. So that's how Vic's head works. So I'll be interested to see how this works out for her.
Does she think that they're really going to like come running to her after she gets LaToya and Beth out?
I don't know. Maybe not.
They're going to
maybe she's been like, whatever, you guys didn't want me, so I'm going to just get you out. Maybe she's over them.
Yeah.
But she's not targeting them. That's the thing. She's just targeting the girls that are in between her and them.
Yeah. I do feel like she's thinking about like, who could Kiefer's target be? You might think like, oh, definitely Victoria because she put him on the block. But I do feel like she kind of treated him well. You know, she let him know, you're good, just act sad. Like she kind of clued him in and then followed through on that, and she got LaToya out. So he may be like, listen, I get it, Victoria threat, but she's not a threat to me. So Jed and Ty, you win HOH and go after her. I've got other priorities. But who are his priorities? Do you think it's going to be Kyle and Rohan?
Well, I don't know exactly. So what I definitely know is Tina and Tara are safe. Those are his closest allies, Tina and Tara. Good to go this week.
Yep.
Probably good to go for a while.
Yeah.
He recently said his targets would be Austin and Braden, but I don't know if that was just saying like you can kind of say Austin and Braden and not get a ton of blowback because they're kind of not they don't look like they're doing a lot, even though they've got a lot of information. They're not doing a lot. But we know he doesn't get along with Kyle and Ro. We know that even though they kind of kissed and made up, not really. So that's a possibility. Like you said, Vic nominated him, but like I don't think she's high on his list. But she could be a pun or like an extra nom or a replacement nom. She'd be an easy one to throw up and just be like, you nominated me. So sure. But Jed and Ty and Beth, even though he used to be aligned with them, they just voted him out.
I was just about to say, like, he's got to do some soul searching here and figure out like, okay, who are my actual allies? Like, I don't really think he has that many at this point because
just Tina,
Ty, Beth, Tina, but I don't know. Tina's doing her own thing. Like, I don't think that she's necessarily going to like stick her neck out to save Kiefer. But yeah, like he's got to look at this and be like, well, I know that Jedson and Ty and Beth are thrilled that I won the HOH, but I don't know if they should be, because are we working together?
Right. I mean, the whole week, they openly talked about trying to save LaToya in front of them. Kiefer.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any like Kiefer. It was just like slightly like, oh, sucks for you, Kiefer. So how do we save LaToya? You know, it was like,
right.
It's not going to feel good. It doesn't feel great that your alliance members were just openly like, oh, you're going to go? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
So, I'll be interested to see. What I do know about Kiefer is he's messy. What I do know is that he does get a little too big for his britches at times, just like we saw with Vic. We've seen it with 1,000 HOHs. You get that power. Look what happens. It will happen to Kiefer. So I'm expecting a hot mess, and I'm here for it.
Oh, same. Yeah. And I do think probably Tina and Tara are gonna, if they want it, have, you know, a voice at the table of Kiefer's HOH.
If they do have a voice at the table, they want Jed and Ty out. So I don't really want to see that, though, because Jed and Ty have nothing now. They've been just like, their alliance is crumbled.
Stripped away. Yeah.
They've got nothing but each other. Right. So I honestly would like to see him put a Kyle Rowe combination with or without a Vic, something like that, because that helps chip away at the other numbers.
And I think that's smart for him, because if he thinks like, oh, let me just join the other side of the house now because Jed, Ty, Beth voted me out, so let's just like get rid of them. I don't think that serves him well, because he's at the bottom of that other side. So I do think you're right. Like, start to chip away at the other side a little bit and try to position yourself better.
Yeah, especially if you're in the middle like he is and like Tina is. You don't want any one group to get a ton of power, you know? Right. So that would be what I'm hoping to see, but I don't know.
But that may be why he's saying Austin and Braden too. Like, you know, Austin and Braden are on this other side, but they're not necessarily like core other side, you know, to his perspective.
Hard to say. I mean, Austin and Braden are super tight. Kyle and Rowe are super tight. Vic is more tight with Austin and Braden, and she just kind of scooped up Kyle and Rowe. So, I mean, it's always good to break up pairs. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I don't know. Well,
but I'll tell you, I think you're right that the TNT pair, smooth sailing for now.
Smooth sailing, which is great for Tara because people didn't like her at first. She was the only one excluded from the two big. We had Sunsetters and Oddballs for a minute without Tara in either.
Ugh, yeah.
So thank goodness Tina has scooped her up. That has saved Tara's game.
And I think it benefits Tina hugely to have like that ride or die, you know?
Yeah. I wish it had been LaToya, but that didn't work out.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Not work out. So when it was down to Austin, because the HOH was shuffled. Oh, I thought about you, David, when I saw shuffleboard. I know how much you love a shuffleboard.
And on a scale of 1 to boring, how did we feel about this HOH competition?
Well, shuffleboard is not exciting to watch on television.
It is not.
They gave us a crossword puzzle, bingo, and shuffleboard in one.
Yeah, week. I've really had it with like the lotto theme, but I feel like that's going to be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't have to give us Old Folks Home every week. Like that was a triple dose of Old Folks Home, and we don't need that.
Like one of them is fine, but all together it starts to get a little bit like, what is exciting about this?
Yeah, but I do like, because we got shuffleboard, we got to see who the HOH was in this episode. So that we love.
Yes, I was thrilled to have that. And it, you know, obviously fun that it came down to a tie.
Yes, and it came down to the tie that it came down to. I had a very much one I wanted and one I didn't want. Even though I was open to a lot of different HOHs this week, I do not want another Austin HOH.
No, I'm going to mix it up. And like,
Yeah.
I want to see like shifting power dynamics. So the fact that, you know, because it was Austin and then Victoria who are working together, like you don't.
Right.
If you get 3 in a row, then it starts to get a bit tedious. But now,
exactly,
you know,
we
power
would have
shifting.
Had the same thing again. Yeah, exactly. So I was glad to see Kiefer. I'm excited to see what craziness he brings this week. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Gonna
Very
be
fun.
I need to add in these points. Oh, wait, let me see. Kiefer has 2 points. Who has Kiefer on their team? Let's
Is
find
it
out.
Jessica? Jess has that, I think.
Oh, you're right. Oh, so Jess has just gone into the lead. But close behind, you and Jolene are only 1 point behind Jess. And I don't even count. So
yeah, it's early. It's still so early.
But I just lost one person. So I'm in trouble. I'm in big, big trouble. But that's okay. That's okay. You guys, thank you so much for joining us live.
Yes. And if you are not with us live,
BBCan.
Make sure you leave a comment and let us know what you think Kiefer's plans should be. Who played, because a lot of people are playing too hard and a lot of people are messy, but who played the too hardest and who's the messiest of the week?
I love it. And who you rooting for? Who you loving?
Yeah. And why is it Tina?
And why? She's running the house secretly? Yes. 100%. All right, you guys, we will. Oh, I'll be over on Jolene's channel tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, for the live feed spoilers that happen tomorrow during the day. And next week, we're back at everything else.
That's right. We'll see you guys then.
So be subscribed, and we'll see you then. All right, bye, you guys.
Bye.